effort to label the Gulf oil spill Obama's Katrina appears to have sputtered, even though, as we will explain, Mr. Obama's administration certainly did allow BP to bypass environmental requirements. But on our third story tonight, there's a growing pool of evidence, to say nothing of the oil, suggesting a far more apt name for this spill, Cheney's Katrina. First President Obama's part, it was his Interior Department under Secretary Ken Salazar, reports the Washington Post today, that last year exempted BP from doing a detailed analysis of the potential environmental impact of drilling at the Deepwater Horizon site. The analysis would have required BP to identify measures for reducing its environmental impact. As recently as April 9th, BP was lobbying to expand its exemptions. The exemption was granted based on 3 reviews of the area done by Interior's Minerals Management Service, MMS, that downplayed the prospect of a spill. So why Cheney's Katrina? His former company, Halliburton, led by his former protege, CEO David Lassar, did the cementing to seal the Deepwater well, a process families of the dead now claim led to the fatal blowout. Halliburton confirming it finished cementing only 20 hours before the damn thing blew. Just like Halliburton had just finished cementing this Australian well when it blew on August 21st of last year, causing what is now called the Montara spill. A government inquiry still underway there, but zeroing in on the cementing process. 3 years after the American MMS found that 18 out of 39 offshore blowouts since 1996 have been caused by bad cementing, a 20-year Halliburton cementer who admitted screwing up in the Montara spill testified this March about his Halliburton training. Quote, "Have you been taught in training or otherwise become aware that problems with cementing are the #1 cause of blowouts?" His answer, "No, I wasn't aware of that." Almost immediately after taking office, Vice President Cheney began meeting with more than 100 oil executives, compiling a wish list of things they wanted. One thing the industry did not want was mandatory acoustic switches, which can shut wells remotely when blowout preventers fail. The administration knew preventers fail because the MMS found hundreds of incidents in which they did, but it reversed a Clinton-era decision to require the, quote, essential acoustic backups, calling them too costly, and those faulty blowout preventers a fail-safe. And the MMS report downplaying the odds of a Deepwater spill. It was done back in 2007, signed off on by then-Director Randall Luthi, a Wyoming Republican who goes back almost 30 years with Dick Cheney to 1982 when he was an intern for Dick Cheney.
Greg Palast is working with the BBC, hot on the big petroleum spill going on the last 2 weeks. Greg, what's the bottom line on this in your investigation?
Well, there's several things. One, this is the old game. British Petroleum actually owns the oil in Alaska. And the Exxon Valdez, despite Exxon having its name on the ship, British Petroleum was more to blame there because they were in charge of oil spill response. And just like this time, they lie about what they're capable of doing. They're supposed to have equipment out there. They're supposed to have the rubber skirts. You just need a lot of rubber, basically, to stop a spill. They didn't have it in the Gulf. They didn't have it 20 years ago when the Exxon Valdez ran aground. That should have never been a big disastrous spill. It doesn't matter if the ship ran aground. It should have been, that oil should have been contained. British Petroleum, I've been following these guys for 22 years. These guys, the way that they deal with oil spill response is they lie, they obfuscate, they prevaricate. And, that's why I'm going back up to Alaska, because that's really where it starts, just the endless lie. And by the way, when Obama says, well, we still need the oil, and he opens up the coast, more of the coast of Alaska, well, that's not for America. That oil goes to Japan. That ain't for us.
Now, what's the number? 80% goes to Asia.
Yeah, it goes, and by the way, when the pipeline was built in Alaska, the original law said that the oil must come to the USA, and Clinton got rid of that rule. So now it goes to Japan and Asia. And then, the profits go to London because it's British Petroleum.
And that's why they don't let people drill in certain areas, because people like BP are lobbying. Could this be a false flag event because Obama had said they could drill and that would let other companies in, and BP already was doing most of the exploration? Could this be a false flag as a pretext to shut down drilling, which Obama has now announced he's doing?
I have no idea. All I do know is that these guys don't know what, in terms of the actual drilling, they don't know what they're doing. And by the way, my information is that they didn't go down 18,000 feet. They went down much further. That's why they had this pressure burst. They have no idea what the hell they're doing, and they're operating blind. you know, where they're supposed to have containment barges. I didn't see them out there. They're supposed to have rubber boom. Why is it that the United States Navy is putting out 12 miles of rubber boom? And by the way, Mr. Obama, why did it take till Thursday to federalize a disaster that occurred on Saturday? You know, if they put that 12 miles of boom around the ship on Sunday, it would have been mostly contained. You know, so you know, the Obama administration screwed this up real bad. But BP is ultimately responsible, and they couldn't care less. And don't forget, if they're saying it's costing them $4 million a day, they sell $4 million barrels a day, and the price of oil is up $2 a barrel because of the spill. So it costs them $4 million a day, but they make an extra $8 million a day. So
what about Halliburton? What about Halliburton reportedly being?
Right. Halliburton, okay, first of all, they probably drilled the well to 25,000 feet, not 18. Halliburton's supposed to be dumping a cement plug down that well. That's where they make 20% of their profits, Halliburton. And, you know, they're supposed to check the pressure before they drop the plug so they know that it's a big enough plug. Obviously, they didn't. They just took the money and they just dumped the crap over into the cement into the pipe, and they didn't measure nothing. And this is the problem. These guys are cranking in the money, and it's not, you know, then it goes bad, and they go, oh, gee, it's a shame.
Why can't they plug it? We only got about 30. Well, why can't they plug it?
It is so gigantic, and the pressure is so high that they cannot, that it's beyond, they had no preparation for this, and they simply didn't include a remote shutoff valve, which the Brazilian oil company has, the Norwegians have, the other oil companies. When they drill, they have a remote switch, just like, you know, with your remote TV, so that they can trigger a shutoff from a distance. They can't trigger the shutoff.
All right.
valve.
Greg Palast, when you get back with more info, we look forward to having you on. GregPalast.com. Good to have you back on with us.
You got it, brother. Bye.